Okay, so to help myself work out how I'm going to do this, I'm going to use a diagram. And normally I do this kind of thing on paper so that I can work out before I try and code in all the logic what's happening and what I want to happen. Okay, so we have an NPC. He's moving towards a waypoint. Okay, so he's going to get closer to the waypoint, and at some point he's going to reach the waypoint, and he's going to go past the waypoint. Okay, so the distance, or the square magnitude, will be decreasing. I'm going to get close to that waypoint, and then that square magnitude is going to start increasing again. So I'm thinking the way to detect if I'm near the waypoint is going to be along those kind of lines. Try and create a system like that. So, just like in that diagram, as he's getting closer, okay, so the distance decreases, and then he just goes past it, so that distance will start increasing again. Let's see if we can code that in. This is a start. That's calculating our directional vector. Let's put a note in. To the current waypoint. That's what's happening there. Let's see if we can start looking at this distance. Okay, so our bar, waypoint, and we're going to be calculating the square magnitude because that's much faster. And this will be a type float, and that will equal the same thing as here. We want the waypoint's position. Take away from it the NPC position, and then we square magnitude that vector. So there's the vector 3, and then we get the square magnitude of that vector. Now I don't want to be doing this check all the time, so I'm going to create an if conditional. And I'm just going to start calculating it when he's within 5 units of the waypoint. I don't want to be doing this for 100 units as he's crossing the whole map. So if the waypoint square magnitude is less than 5 times 5 is 25. So I can put a debug here. And this is going to be close to the waypoint. So let's save that out, and let's see if our code can see if we're getting close to that waypoint. So he's well beyond 5 units. Now he's come within 5 units, and now he's close to the waypoint. So there's the first part done. So as we get closer, we want to start recording that distance so we can compare that in the next update to see if the new distance that's calculated, square magnitude, is closer than the last square magnitude we calculated. So first let's create a global variable to store our last position. Because it's something we're just using in the script, we'll make it private. Private variable must be our last waypoint square magnitude. Again, to be a type float, and to assign it, because we're comparing distances, we want to know if that distance is closer. Let's just initially assign this to a really high value. Okay, so you can't get much higher than infinity. Here's our last waypoint square magnitude. So we're patrolling, we're close to the waypoint. And what are we going to do here? We're going to start comparing the waypoint square magnitude to the last waypoint square magnitude. So if we're getting close, let's start comparing. If that waypoint square magnitude, well, like I said in the diagram, we want to know when that starts increasing again. So if that waypoint square magnitude is greater than our last square magnitude, so the distance is increasing, therefore the NPC is moving away from the waypoint. Waypoint is greater. Let's just do a debug again because we're just working this out. I'm literally just working this out as I'm typing it. That waypoint is greater than last square magnitude. The NPC is now moving away. Let's see if we can see that happen. We're going to see him getting close to the waypoint. And as he gets close to the waypoint and then gets past it, he's going to start moving away. Now, before I go any further, we want to keep updating this last square magnitude. Okay, so let's just pop it down here. Now, last square magnitude will equal what we just calculated. Okay, so when we come back around, we calculate a new waypoint square magnitude, and we have our last one, which was, as you can see here, it was the last time we calculated it. So save that out. Now let's see first when he's getting close, and then when he passes it, if we get that new debug. Close, now moving away. Okay, it only happened in there once. Oh, that's as he starts turning around. So where was the first instance that happened? I might put some extra characters in that debug just so that I can clearly see it. Okay. Save that and we'll just run it again. I'll try and pause it very quickly this time. Getting close. Okay, and then he just went past it and started turning around. Let's see if we can see that reflected. So he's close to the waypoint. He's close to the waypoint. And now he's moving away. There was an instance where he started moving away again. This will be the point in time where we want to go to the next waypoint. Okay, so he's now moving away. So we're using a waypoint index. So we can read from our array which waypoint we're using. So we're going to increment that. But then we also want to check that we're not sending that value out of range of the array size. So we need to check if a waypoint index is greater than or equal to a waypoint's length then let's just bring our waypoint index back to 0, the very first waypoint. NPC is moving away, we increase the waypoint index count, so we start using the next one. If that's greater, then we reset it to 0. Okay. If we reset it to 0, we want we want to start all this distance calculating again. So let's also do like we did when we initialized it. We'll make this math.infinity. So we can start checking our distance all over again compared to the new waypoint. Okay, so if we set it there and then we fall out of the if, we're going to be setting it there. Waypoint is greater than the last square magnitude. Then we're setting it there, so this is going to be else. We will keep updating our last square magnitude value. Right, so I'm going to save that out. Now let's see. This will now be new waypoint is chosen. Okay, save that out. Let's see if that's going to work. Closer, get to it, move away, and actually, there we go. He's now moving away. He's chosen the new waypoint. Getting new debugs there. Okay, so he got close, and he's moving away again. Now he's gone back to the first waypoint. Bang. Okay, so that's look like that's working there. You can get fully close to that one. Now he's getting close to that, but something is happening there. What is happening? Waypoint. Because we're only doing it when he gets to the last waypoint. So yeah, this is actually in the wrong spot. Okay, that part there. Okay, let's even comment it now. Let's increase the waypoint index. So we're doing that there. And then we're going to check if the waypoint index is greater than the amount of waypoints we have. Okay, so that's what's happening there. And because we've increased our waypoint, we want to start by comparing to a new square magnitude. And that's where we're going to reset the last waypoint square magnitude back to math infinity. So let's see if he does actually reach the waypoint now. See if he does reach this one now. So that distance is being reset. So he hit it, he's gone past it. Okay, so he's hit it, he's gone past it, and he's picked the other waypoint again. Okay, that's awesome. Alright, so our debugs have done their job for us. So let's go back and comment them out. We'll leave them there just in case anything breaks in the future. And there's a second debug there. So I'm going to save that out. Now let's see if we can just throw in a couple of more waypoints. Let's just grab these two, duplicate them, drag them out, set them a little bit. One, no, that's going to be waypoint 3. Okay, let's see if we can make them crisscross. There's 2, so this will be 4. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just run it. First one, passed it. Decided to use the second one. He's got to the second one, he's passed it. And he's gone back to the first one again. Now why is that? Well, we created the waypoints, but I didn't actually put them in our waypoints array, so he's still choosing only between the two. So let's pop them into the inspector. Okay, so now I've given our NPC 4 waypoints, which you'll count through. Okay, let's test that again. Gets the first one, passes it, picks on the second one, he gets close to the second one, he passes it. Now he's going to go to the third one. He gets close to it, he's passed it, okay, and now he's off to the fourth one. Now let's see if that array.length, there we go. So he's worked out that that's the last one, so he's going to start using 0 again. Okay. So there. We've actually not too bad. Now, this is a far from perfect system, and you can see I was just muddling this out on the fly, trying to work it out and put it together immediately. If I sat down and thought about it and did a few more prototype scenes, I could probably come up with a much better system than this. But I think that distance checking is working fine in this instance. Let's just throw in a quick little test, something final for a bit of fun. I'm just going to duplicate one of the walls, and I'm going to position it in the way. It's going to be in the way between waypoints. So he's still going to have to steer his way around that wall while he's going around all the waypoints. Let's see if that works. Okay. Let's just hit play. First waypoint, then up to the second one. He's passed it. It's a new waypoint. Got a bit of a wall in the way. Steering didn't work great there. I think something may be overriding it. That's why I did want to check it and throw it in there as consideration. There's the fourth one. That wall will nearly be in the way. Now that steering is calculated in the moving, so I'm not entirely sure why that wouldn't work. There we go, maybe it was just the angle of the normal. I did actually tilt that not to try and bodgy it up so it looked like it worked. I wanted to get it so that wall's in the way now as well. So he's heading to this one. Hopefully I've rotated that wall enough so that's in the way. Okay, just kind of bumped it. Like I said, I'm only doing this to try and give it problems. Okay, second waypoint, turn to the third. Okay, so yeah, he steered the wrong way around, but there you go, he still steered around it. Yeah, everything I've done here is just basic stuff. It's just an introduction. I mean, if this was AAA title artificial intelligence, then I wouldn't be giving it away. And, I don't think I'm at that point where I could program it myself yet. It just shows you how simple you can make it. So for this one, second one, and the third one, there's an obstacle in the way. So he steered that, but he still has his target waypoint. Third one. Last one. This wall should be in the way. Just gets its way around that. Okay. Alright, so I'm happy with that. So I'll just keep leaving it to play there because it's pretty fun to see something like that working. Let's bring the player back within range. Now let's look at the NPC. Currently, I've set the maximum range to 10, so he's not going to target a player unless he's within 10 units. So let's bring our player in close. Let's see, while he's going to the waypoint, does he see the player and change his attack direction? There we go. Okay, so we've gone out, so he's resumed play. He's gone back to his last waypoint. Okay, so the player's close to that waypoint, and you can check the player health here too. Okay, so he's got in range, and now he's attacking the player. So the player runs away, and he's gone back to his old waypoints. I don't think that'll be in range. because it's only a small number 10, but I can't change it in runtime, remember, because we're using square magnitudes, not the magnitude. You should see him as he goes past there. Okay, or we can see him, and he's targeting, and he's deducting health. Move him right out of the way. And hide him behind the wall this time, just for a final bit of fun. So he's going to be in range, but he's still behind a wall. Oh, yep, he turned to look at him, and he's found his way around the wall, and the health is going down. So that's great. I think we just about tested everything we can possibly test in this scenario. But there's a whole new behavior to the NPC, and that's patrolling with some waypoints. And as I've shown you, once you set up the array and how to read an array, and how to read the size of an array, you can count through however many elements you have in that array, and then when you get to the end, you can just cycle back to the first one again. Because we started off with 2 and we have 4. And I could keep making examples. I could duplicate all of them and send them out all over the world. But now you have it, you can play test with this yourself. Okay, as always, let's save the scene.